Apple is the most fascinating brand out there, and this year, let's find out the 40 years of Apple as it has reached to 40th year since its startup. Do you want to find out how the company was born? Stay tuned and find out in our new video. Hello everyone and welcome to your favorite channel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. So without further delay, where did it all start? Let's explore Apple's past. First, let's just go back to that time Ronald Wayne departed Apple 12 days after its establishment and sold his shares to Jobs for $800 owing to Jobs' arrogant and egotistical demeanor. Apple gained just enough sales to start building the Apple II in 1977. Compared to the Apple I, it was greatly improved and redesigned with a built-in keyboard, case, and floppy disk drives. But the war began with IBM when Dane traduced their own PC in 1980. Apple went to Xerox PARC and used their GUI for future products. Apple then introduced Apple Free and the Lisa, which both flopped. But now Apple would unveil a machine that would transform how people regarded computers forever. On January 24, 1984, Steve Jobs unveiled the Macintosh to thunderous applause that lasted over a minute. It had a Motorola 68KM 128 kilobytes round and introduced the mouse and Apple GUI to the public. It sold well at the time. In 1985, Jobs was forced out of his own company by board member John Sculley due to a power struggle. Other varieties of the Macintosh were launched, such as the Mac LC for cheap cost and the SE for system expansion. In the early 1990s, Apple tried to make a portable Mac for the first time, but it was too heavy and inconvenient. With the PowerBook 100, Apple finally got it right. Apple versus IBM conflict continues in sales and advertising a Macintosh versus a PC. This is the world's simplest PC, and Apple's losing the game owing to Windows 3.0's new GUI. The solution was free new Mac lines. Quadra, centrist, and performer. Now this tactic will later buy Apple horribly. In 1994, Apple partnered up with IBM and started developing PowerPC processors, replacing the 6 8K processors. The Power Macintosh line was a direct result of this. Now Apple has been overproducing with computers. Named by numbers from 1400 to 9600, the overproduction has resulted in Apple losing money every year as well as more people flocking over to Windows 95. 1 year later, the iBook, Apple's first consumer laptop, was released. It was the first Apple laptop with a Wi-Fi card. This was the beginning of Apple's consumer liner and therefore laptops, which eventually separated into the MacBook and MacBook Air. In March 2001, Apple introduced Mac OS X. Its awkward design was impressive for the time, but it was slow and lacked important features. Steve Jobs launched the iPod, which was popular because it was easy to use and the proper size. It was part of Apple's digital hub strategy, which also featured iMovie and iTunes. The iPad later expanded to several varieties, including Nano Touch and Shuffle. In the early 2000s, Apple shifted from CRT displays to LCDs, and their consumer goods became white, while their professional line turned aluminum. By 2006, Apple switched from PowerPC to Intel CPUs. Apple introduced the iPhone at Macworld 2007. Nobody knew how much it would impact the world. 9 years later, the iPhone kicked off the smartphone market, and nowadays you'll see people with an iPhone or Android in their pocket. This is Apple's third most popular product, which increased Apple's market share. The iPod Touch was also introduced a year and was popular for young people who wanted a new iPhone look-alike. iTunes also had a huge impact on society by allowing up-and-coming artists to share their music in new ways. Nowadays, people use cheap music streaming software like Spotify. In 2010, Apple introduced the iPad, which was designed to be the middle product between a smartphone and a computer. In 2011, Jobs became very weak because he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2004. After the introduction of iCloud, he died. Jobs remained at Apple as chairman of the board and worked every day until his death on October 5, 2011. On Apple's website, they showed dissipated respect, and many left flowers and Apple retail stores at the time. This is it, everyone. Let us know in the comments what you think the future will bring for Apple. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done that. Also, put on the notifications because the next video is going to be a great one.